Shwmai a croeso cynnes, and welcome to the What's Your Story podcast. I'm James Owen, a Welsh filmmaker and storyteller, and I'm passionate about sharing stories. This podcast is all about business owners sharing their journey, and we'll be speaking with directors, entrepreneurs and creatives from all across Wales to learn from their experiences. We believe everyone has a story to tell. What's your story? Shwmai, croeso cynnes, welcome to the next episode of What's Your Story. And for me as a filmmaker and storyteller, I love hearing stories within the creative industries. And we got a really special episode here today from someone who is the founder and principal of the Unlimited School of Arts here in Carmarthenshire. We have Chelsea on the podcast today. Chelsea, croeso cynnes I chi.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You didn't come very far, did you?
No, not very far, no.
No, cross hands,
Cross hands.
Kevin Ethan.
Cross hands.
Cross hands. Now, here's a debate. Is cross hands in Llanelli?
No, I wouldn't say so. It's in the Cwm.
It's in the Cwm?
In the Cwm.
Because, like, from an electoral ward postcode, it's in Llanelli.
It is postcode, but I would say it's the Cwm.
No, it's not Llanelli, is it?
No, I wouldn't say
The Cwm. The Cwm Gwendraeth, is it?
Cwm Gwendraeth, yeah.
In the Cwm Gwendraeth. Yeah, it's brilliant to have you on here today. And for those who are listening and watching, could you please share in summary, in a couple of sentences, what is the Unlimited School of Arts?
So, Unlimited School of Arts is a performing arts academy based in Carmarthenshire, and we do everything from musical theatre to acro, singing, drama, dance, and we start with children from the age of 3 up until the age of 18.
Wow, okay. So you got your hands full with all these young people learning the arts, and yeah, fantastic. And you, from a very young age, you fell in love with the arts as a child, did you not?
I did, yes. All I ever did as a kid. Literally from the age of 4, maybe. I've always been in drama, classes, local, been round a few, to be honest. But yeah, no, always done it since a kid.
Yeah, and does that include the singing, the dancing?
Yeah, the whole lot, everything. Singing is my passion, but everything else comes along with it, so you got to give it all a go.
I've since learned something today. I know why it's called the Unlimited School of Arts. Because if any of you are a fan of Wicked, it's a play on Wicked. Is there copyright in that? Can you do that?
I don't know.
Maybe you'll get an email one day when
not.
this goes viral.
Maybe.
So yes, the
Hopefully
famous quote, unlimited, together we're...
No.
Oh, come on!
No.
It was your time to shine. I absolutely loved the film Wicked. It was fantastic. But yeah, singing is something you love. And yeah, from a very young age, you had a knock in your confidence because as you were growing up as a child, you, I guess, wanted to pursue this passion. Was it wanting to get on the big stage, the West End? Was that the dream for you as a 4-year-old?
I always saw it as a job. It's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I knew that from a very young age. And I went to an audition at the age of, I think it was 8, around about that time. There was an open audition in Cardiff Millennium Centre for the Chitty Bang Bang tour. And they were calling kids between the age of 7 and 12, I think, to come and play the parts of Jeremy and Jemima. And I went, was really nervous, went in. The first round went surprisingly really well. And then I got a call back then for Jemima, and I went in, and I think I was just a bit too nervous, and it just didn't go my way. I messed the words up, and I remember that to this day, what the words are now, and what I didn't say in the room when I should have.
What were the words?
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Is that part of the song they sing?
It's part of the song, yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work if you've got the will, and I sang it backwards.
Ah.
I know.
I thought I was going to get you sing again then.
No.
Oh, teamwork. Well, I've not actually seen, as a child, I might have seen the film.
Yeah.
But I certainly don't remember the musical, the dramatic act itself. So, yeah, but that's a very popular saying. I say it all the time. I say it to my wife.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Well, is that where it comes from?
Yeah.
Chitty Bang Bang?
Well, I'm not sure if it comes from there, but yeah.
Could be an intertextual reference from another source.
Maybe.
Who knows? So yeah, what did that do to you as an 8-year-old? Not getting the part.
absolutely knocked my confidence to the floor. I never wanted to do any sort of performing again. I know I'm saying I was really young, but I didn't want to go to any drama classes. I pulled out of all my drama classes. I didn't want to go. Every time my mum would enroll me in a new class, I'd go and I'd cry the whole time and I just want to leave. So it was a massive knock and I'll always remember it. But yeah, it was massive for me. But then when I was 15, my mum actually went behind my back and signed me up for a audition for Stagecoach Carmarthen. And they were offering a scholarship for, I think it was a free term. So you had to go and audition, and it was through Radio Carmarthenshire.
Yeah.
So you had to go and audition, and then they'd give you a phone call on the radio, live on the radio. So I went into the audition. My mum forced me. I didn't really want to go. Went in, did it. And there was a lovely lady called Leanne Davis, who was the principal at the time. She's not anymore, but she was the principal at the time. And I remember her in the audition when I went in when I was 15, and she just looked at me and she said, "You got this." I didn't know her, but I just thought, oh, she's got a friendly face, and if she can believe in me, I just did it. And I sang the song from the Chitty Bang Bang audition.
The same one you failed?
The same one that I failed when I was 8.
Wow.
So I sang that. And then a few weeks later, I had a phone call, or my mum had a phone call, and I was live on the radio, and they said, "You've got the scholarship, you've won, you've got a free term." So then I had to go to the class then, which I was a bit nervous about, to be honest, because I didn't think I was going to get it. But it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I will always thank Leanne Davis, because she is who believed in me, and she pushed me from the age of 15 and really brought out my performance back again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after all those years of that, because it's sad to hear that, you had your confidence knocked in such a way. You finished as an 8-year-old with all these drama classes, and then all of a sudden then it just took that one person to give you that encouragement, which sort of sparked something in you, which you already had.
Yeah, I think I just needed that little confidence boost to get back into it. But once I was in it again, I loved it. And it just reminded me of why I love it and this is what I want to do.
And do you think Leanne has sort of been part of your inspiration in setting up your business?
Absolutely. We're still friends now. I went back to work for her when I was 18 in Stagecoach Carmarthen. I was back and forth when I was away in London, and then now we've stayed in touch ever since, and she's been a massive inspiration for growing Unlimited, myself, and wanting to be a female boss in the industry.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Boss in it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Before we come on to the progression of your business, I'd just love to hear a bit about your background, because I think it's important. As a business owner, you back yourself up with your credentials, with your qualifications. You got to.
You have to.
You have to. But I think there's a lot of people, especially in and around this area, who sort of run businesses and claim they've got these qualifications and claim they've got this experience. And it, once you've got, it's not to say, right, because some people don't go to university and they do very well and they're very successful. Yeah. I think there are some things you have to go. If you want to be a doctor, you have to go to university. You have to study medicine, right? So some of those things that will never change. But I think it's always good when you've got a piece of paper that gives you the qualification to say, I am experienced in this area and I'm professional to a degree that I can give somebody this sort of advice. So you went on to after school to go and study in a very good drama school, I believe.
Yes, I did. Well, before then, I finished school and then I went to Gysainen College to do 2 years. BTEC level 3 performing arts, and then I went to Guildford Italia Conti.
Wow.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't know, that's apparently a big deal, is it?
It's a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big deal at the time, but
at the time. Fantastic. Yeah. So you did a degree level for 3 years.
Yeah.
In performing arts.
In performing arts, yes. It was the most intense 3 years of my life, because I don't know if everyone would agree with me, but anyone in the industry, I think, would agree that you have to be an athlete to be a performer in the West End, and that is what they do when you go away to drama school and dance school and you train 12 hours a day, it's really intense. And
Really?
it's not for everyone.
Because to me, as someone who enjoys going as a spectator to watching a musical or watching the pantomimes probably a bit, it's fun and cheeky, isn't it? But let's talk about musicals itself. It looks like people are having a great time on stage, but there is a serious level of fitness to this then.
Absolutely, I think you've got to be a machine. And even now, I've been out of it now for a good 4 or 5 years. I could never do, if I got a job tomorrow in London, there's no way I'd be able to do 8 shows a week. It's intense. Yeah.
And that's typically what's expected of somebody performing in the West End, 8 shows.
Yeah, 8 shows a week,
Is it hard work then? It is hard work.
It's mega hard work. And anyone who turns around and says, oh, but you're just dancing, I would absolutely love for someone who isn't in the industry to try and do a show, just one show on one day, and come back to me and tell me, oh yeah, that was easy. Because it's really not.
It's not. You make it look easy, right?
Yeah. That's part of the job.
It's part of the job. So for you then, as someone who was born and raised in Carmarthenshire, offline, we've been speaking Welsh. There's probably this sense of community and belonging here in West Wales.
Yeah.
Was it always the plan for you to go away and study to then come back home?
No. So my original plan was to go away, train in London and stay in London and audition, and if I was lucky enough to get a job, then amazing, great. But unfortunately that is not what happened, and COVID hit. So I graduated in 2019. I did a couple of working paid jobs in the industry, and then COVID hit, so then I had to move home. And I didn't have a job. I didn't have any income. I had absolutely nothing. I'd moved back in with my mum and I didn't know what to do. I literally had nothing. So it went from having everything to coming home and being like, well, what do I do now? How long is this going to last? What am I going to do?
That must have been it was a difficult time for all of us. I had a difficult time in COVID, but to, because when you would have filled out that application form to study in Italia Conti in London, nobody saw COVID come in. No. So for you to then graduate and then almost be like, oh, what am I doing here? Because you're almost not back to square one almost, but the opportunities were limited.
Yeah, everything was, well, especially the arts industry. I think they suffered a lot worse than a lot of other industries because everything was shut. Everything was just in darkness and nobody knew what was next. So, it was a tough time.
So what was the plan for you? Because you obviously seen that there was an opportunity to create something from that negativity, right? And a big believer, for me, I'll be honest, COVID was a catalyst for my business. I saw the benefits and the opportunity there was to really grow my business. And I think a lot of people did see that. You can absolutely appreciate the damage COVID did to people, to businesses. Absolutely, I take that on board. But I think that I think it's for me, in my personality, I'm very optimistic.
Yeah.
I will always look at something and try and look at it in the best light possible.
Yeah.
And if there's a problem, well, do something about it. Come up with some sort of solution. So for you, you didn't dwell too long on it because that gave you a lot of time to build what you've built today.
Yes. So it was never the plan. I always wanted to build my own performing arts academy, but it was never the plan to do it as early as I did.
Was it a retirement plan for you, maybe?
Yeah, sort of. But then obviously I had nothing. I didn't even have a job. I'd had no income. I was basically living off savings. And then I just thought, well, I've got all this time on my hands. I may as well just utilise it. And I spent, well, the entire time really just building everything from scratch. I had no funding. I literally had, maybe it was about £13 in my bank, something like that. And I was like, right, okay, I'm going to make it work. I don't know how, but I am. And yeah, I built the name, the brand, the logo, everything that comes with it behind the scenes that people don't see. From scratch.
That's good. So tell me a bit about that process then. So you were like, right, I've got to do something. What was the sort of the practical things that you spent a lot of time on in building the business. You know, the branding,
The branding, was a big one.
The commercial offering. Talk me through some of those processes you went through before you got your first customer.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have a plan. I was just sort of going day by day. Didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest, because I've never owned a business before, never even really thought about it properly. So I was doing a lot of research behind the scenes, Googling things. And then it took me ages to come up with a name. I had like a full mind map of all these different names.
Give me some of the names.
I can't even remember. There were so many. Yeah, and then...
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Teamwork makes the dream, the slogan.
Limited.
And then I think I literally just closed my eyes on the page and just went, yeah, that one. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's meant to be, because then I linked because Wicked has always been my favourite musical anyway. So then I linked the colour, made the logo myself. There's so much that you have to do behind the scenes as a business owner, and it's really hard doing it as a single person as well, with no help. And obviously in COVID there was nobody really it's just me and my mum in the house. My mum isn't self-employed and she's never run a business, so I was asking her questions. She's like, I don't know, just Google it. So yeah, just learning from doing my own research and things like that.
So you started with an open day. You invited people.
Yes.
When you sort of got the branding and things going.
Yeah, got things ready.
Your first protocol was an open day.
An open day, yeah. So I think it was the 17th of May, 2021. And I literally just put a post out, made an Instagram, made a Facebook, put a post out, shared it in all these groups on Facebook with the off chance of people would turn up. Went there, this is the time, this is the date. Didn't expect anyone to come, maybe 2 or 3 people, I know, because I'd spread the word through family and friends. And we were full. So we turned up 10 in the morning, and we had to do 2 sessions because there was too many kids to fill the hall. So we had to split it into 2. So I had one group, and then they did their open day. We did a little dance routine and stuff, just to give them a feel of what would happen if they come weekly to the class. And then we had to do another one then straight after, because there was too many kids waiting. How
many kids did you teach that day?
About, I don't know, 45, 50.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you thought 2 or 3 would be there?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It was nuts. It was mental. And I think that was the drive then to go, okay, I can do this. There's a gap for it. People want it. So, yeah.
Where was this? Was this in a hall in Croissants?
This was in an Aeadd in Carmarthenshire. So I decided I did a bit of research of the different schools that are in the area already, because you've got loads of different amateur dramatic schools in Carmarthen, Swansea, Llanelli, and there was nothing in the middle. So as a girl from the Cwm, not Llanelli, I saw there was a gap for it. People were having to travel to these places, so I thought, why not just open one in the middle so they don't have to travel that far?
That's brilliant.
It worked, and it's still working. So,
and from a business perspective, what? Because let's be honest, you haven't. From what I can understand, there are lots of companies that offer coaching through dramatic arts, whether that's dancing, singing. There are lots of music schools. There are people who do it self-employed, teach piano lessons, all these things. So you haven't invented something brand new, but I think what you've identified there very early on is that there's nothing in that area.
Yeah.
And there's still lots of people living in Carmarthen, Crosshands, Tumble, T-Cross, Pennygross,
Yeah.
And so you've seen the need that you could fill that gap, because it probably would have been quite challenging early on, starting something in Llanelli, starting something in Carmarthen, because there are lots of successful stage schools already in those areas.
Yeah, they've been running for years as well. So
so no, you started in a little hall, and these kids kept coming then.
And we're still in that little hall every Monday.
Still in that little hall.
Yeah.
And you've been going for how many years now?
It'll be 4 years now on the 17th of May.
4 years in business.
Yeah.
Chelsea, that's brilliant.
Goes quick, flies by.
Flies by when you're having fun.
Yesterday, yeah.
With these kids. And so have some of these kids been with you since that first open day?
Yeah, I've still got a fair few amount that have been with me since day one in that open day. And they're still coming. So it's been nice to watch them grow as well, be a part of their journey growing up as well. It's nice.
And as some of these kids that you've had the pleasure of teaching, what have been some of the highlights with some of these individuals? Have you got some stories of some of them maybe overcoming their confidence,
Yeah, that's
getting
a
a
big
role? What are
thing.
some of these highlights you've had with these kids?
I think that's probably one of the proudest things about my entire journey is seeing the children who come in who are crying on the first day or they can't speak. I mean, I've had 2 or 3 children at least over the whole school, all the schools that I've got, and they wouldn't speak to me. And I didn't hear their voice for about 4 or 5 weeks. And now they get up and they perform in the front of a dance routine, or they get up and they wanna go for a part that they wouldn't even get up before. So just to see the growth in confidence is amazing.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great to see that. So what are your sort of plans for the next few years? You've already established proof of concept. You've gone and actually filled that need. You've been doing that consistently. So, you know, it's fair to say that you've gone from just doing something that, you know, keeps you busy. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's what you solely do. Am I right in saying you don't have any other jobs? This is your...
I do freelance dance teaching for another school, but it's
Okay.
the same industry.
Same industry.
Same industry.
You're not working in Tesco's
No.
or, you know.
No, it's the same thing. It's just for someone else's school. But yeah, it's only 1 day a week. So I am Monday to Thursday, solely unlimited.
Unlimited, solely unlimited,
Yeah.
unlimited School of Arts. So what would be the plan for you, let's say, in the next 5 years? Where do you see the Unlimited School of Art?
Hopefully growing in numbers. I'm really, really, really looking forward to expanding to our own home then. I'm looking for a studio. I don't know where it's going to be or whether I'm going to have to build one, or I don't really know what the plans are yet, but that is the next goal, is to find somewhere to call home for Unlimited, rather than having to travel to all of these different places, different villages. But then I've been thinking, I don't know if that's a bit of a niche, because I am in so many different places. I don't know if I do get one hub, is that going to jeopardize the customers and the students? Are they going to finish? Are they going to go and find somewhere else if I move where we are, because it's been working so well for so long? So that's a bit of a challenge that I need to overcome and speak to the parents to see what suits them, because they are the customers and they are
the customers.
They are the customers and they are what matters. Yeah, so just growing, finding a place to call our own, and hopefully offering different classes, maybe like adult classes, because I've had a lot of requests from adults asking, oh, do you do dance classes for adults, or can I have a singing lesson with you? Or
You had a 30-year-old today ask you for singing lessons.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, so maybe in the future. But yeah, maybe dance fit as well. A lot of mums have asked, can you do like a dancer size thing or something like that? So it's just finding the time and working everything out, and yeah, hopefully just expanding and keep growing.
Great. And the parents, you're right, they're very important, because they are the customers.
They are very
They're going to be
important.
paying, so you've got to look after them.
Yes.
And what is it that maybe makes you different to what's out there in Carmarthenshire? Why would a parent decide to travel or to go somewhere where you travel versus going somewhere else? What is it a little bit different that maybe you offer?
I think with Unlimited, we have more of a family feel, where I always say to the kids, we're a family. This isn't just a club that you come to. We're all a team. We all work together. We're all friends. Same with the parents. I have a very strong supportive network with the parents. A lot of them do a lot for me because I am on my own. I do have an assistant, Emily, and she's brilliant. But and we do have a new drama teacher starting as well this term. But I do mainly everything on my own. So the parents are really good at helping if I need a chaperone, or if we put on an event, if I haven't got anyone. It's solely like if we've got an event and I need someone to take tickets on the door, one of the mums will say, oh, I'll do it, like no problem, because I don't think about those things until it gets down to the actual day, and then I'm like, oh, I haven't got anyone to do that. Yes, please, like if you could, that's amazing. But yeah, I also think as well, in the industry, there's a massive, I don't know how to word it, but there's this big stigma, I suppose, of if you go to one drama school in the area, some school, I've never understood it because I'm not like that and I don't think I ever will be, but they'd say if your child goes to one drama school, then they can't go to another one that's in the area. And that's always been a stigma that I never have fully understood. So I've always said if the parent is fortunate enough to be able to afford 2 schools and that student has got friends in one school and friends in my school, then why not? Why can't they go and learn? They might be learning something totally different in that other school, and then they can use those skills to apply when they come to our class as well. So I've never understood it, but yeah.
But that is something that exists.
That is something that exists, yeah. And I've had it a few times.
I can kind of understand maybe why, to an extent, because maybe as a business owner...
Yeah, I can understand the business competitive side.
Yeah, it's competition, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to retain that customer. You don't want them shopping elsewhere.
No.
But if you're shopping in Tesco and Asda, you can get different things.
Exactly.
I like Amy, my wife, does most of the shopping because she's hot on deals and things. We'll often shop in Aldi to get specific things and then go to Asda to get other things because you can't get everything in the same place.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like that maybe.
Yeah.
But there is a stigma. It's sad to hear, but ultimately, if those kids are enjoying and having a ball, then why not?
Exactly. Yeah.
Brilliant. So Unlimited School of Arts, you got this fantastic dream of building this up and a dilemma as a business owner, which way are you going to take the business in? And this could go a variety of different ways. It could be a make or break.
It could be.
Because you could have this plan of building a home and it might go totally wrong.
Yeah.
Or you could decide to continue the model you are. I think if you continue the model you are, that's the safest bet because you've already identified a need. You've got a regular custom base. So
it's always good to take risks, though. I do say that.
It is always good to take risks. Yeah. And I think in business, you have to take risks. I say quite often, there's no reward without risk.
Yeah.
And without that risk, there's minimal opportunity for winning something. So, you're totally right. And I love that you've got that attitude because you're ready to give it a go. But it's important, get that feedback from the parents. What do they want? Oh, there's nothing wrong with you, actually, seeing that need and developing that. Because you could bring somebody into the business who goes to the customers, goes to the halls, and then you could run the academy from the hub, from the home. I don't know, there's a model. Maybe you'll be giving one of the parents a job.
Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows? Emily might be a full-time employee.
She might be.
Does she want a full-time job? She's probably got enough on her plate.
She's a teacher as well, or TA then, so she's in school as well. So
great.
Yeah.
And do you think that family culture that you've built, do you think that happens and exists within the parents as well? Do you find that the parents are part of that family and they've built friendships with one another?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially in Llandailo. Llandailo is a very community-based village and everybody chips in and everybody knows everyone as well. The same in the Cwm, but Llandailo, I see it more. And they're all friends. All the kids, there's about 2-3 schools in the area. And it's nice to see the kids from, say, Fairfach. They are now friends with people in Taylor Sant because they all come to Unlimited. And then the parents become friends. And when we put on an awards evening last March, I think it was, and it was so nice just to see everybody mixing together, having a drink, having a laugh and getting involved and just celebrating Unlimited and the family that we are.
Yeah. Did you win an award?
I didn't know, unfortunately. I did have to pay for everybody's trophies, so...
Maybe next year.
Who
knows? Well, it's really exciting to hear, and it takes a lot of hard work, passion, commitment to set up a business, and to hear your story and see you going from literally as a graduate thinking, I'm ready to take on the world and get into that place of oh my gosh, what's next?
Yeah.
You know, and to then, to see you build your little business. It's fantastic. Well done. Da
you.
iawn I ti.
Diolch yn fawr, thank you.
I didn't brief you in this. Most of the guests, I briefed this question. But if you've been paying close attention to the podcast, this is all about people's stories, right? And before we close, and there's a couple of thoughts I want to unpick about you building your business. If you could sit here and listen to somebody's story, and that could be someone that's been very influential, could be Leanne, who knows, we might jump the gun. It might be Leanne. It could be someone that doesn't even exist. Or it could be fictional. It could be Alphaba. Maybe you want to hear her story. Good one. Or Cynthia.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm giving you the answer. If you could spend half an hour just listening to somebody's personal story, who might that be?
I have thought about this question because I knew you were going to ask it.
Yes, she did her homework.
I did. And my answer would be, there's a lot of influential women, like I said, with Leanne, and there was another dance teacher I had when I was younger called Finola, and she's been a massive inspiration because she runs her own dance academy down in Haverfordwest, and I've seen that grow over the years, and I've always looked up to her and gone, I want to be like her one day. But there's one lady in particular who is the principal of Italia Conti, and her name is Hayley Newton-Jarvis. And when I was in Conti, she was such a mysterious lady, but you knew that there was no messing. She was the boss, and everybody knew it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to pick her brains because she's just.
Where does she live?
I don't know. Woking. London, Guildford, I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to her.
We'll have to find out.
I haven't spoken to her for years, but she helped me a lot as well when I was in Conti. So, yeah, Hayley. And thank you, Hayley, as well, because you've done a lot for me. So.
Thank you, Hayley. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, all these wonderful women who have inspired Chelsea.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And before we close, because I think you've learned a lot of big lessons in business. You've taken a lot of risks. For those that are listening who have got their own business, what have been some of the lessons you've learned? You've had no experience. You've not done a business admin degree.
No.
Right. What are some of the lessons you've learned in running your own business?
I think taking risks is a big thing. I think you have to take the risk, like we said just now, and just keeping at it. You can't give up. You've got to back yourself. I would say to anyone who's looking to start their own business, just go for it and remember the reason why. Why did you start? And when you're having down days, when you think, I just want to give it all up and throw it away and go and work in Tesco, just remember the why. Why did you start? Because I think that'll always bring you back up to go, okay, no, I can do it.
And on that, I'm sure there's times where you've performed, whether that be in London, Cardiff. It's your time to shine, break a leg. You've got all these things where... Kev John's been on the podcast a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's Dr. Footlights. Oh. Have you heard of that term?
No, I haven't.
Well, it might be a pantomime thing. It's where the lights are on and you perform. Kev Johns, he was sharing... it'll probably be out by the time you're listening to this. But he's a big figure within the pantomime scene in Swansea.
Yeah.
And he's done 30-odd pantomimes
he's
now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I went to watch him about 3 years ago at Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
He was performing while he had cancer.
Yeah. Amazing.
So he was sharing his story about this Dr. Footlights. It's almost like he's exhausted, this and this, and then it's bang, he shows up.
Yeah.
For you, when it's time to shine, or when it's game time, when it's show time, and if you're feeling a bit rubbish, or maybe you're doubting yourself, you've got imposter syndrome, maybe you've seen other businesses do this and that. What encourages you, inspires you to believe in yourself again? What sort of places do you dig deep to find that sort of belief? Because it's a lonely place being on your own, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I just think back to when I was a little girl and the aspirations that she had, and I just think she probably wouldn't believe where you are now anyway. So just remember back to when you were small. And also the children are a massive inspiration to me, and I do everything I do for the students and for the children. So the children. The students, they keep you going. Chelsea, diolch o galon, thank you so much for coming on. Diolch yn fawr.
And hearing all about your personal story and the successes that the Unlimited School of Arts has already made, and I can't wait to see more about what your business does here in Carmarthenshire, especially in those communities that maybe don't have that opportunity to have arts, and continue offering that. For anyone who's maybe interested, living in the Cwm, and they want some lessons on dancing, maybe by now you're a 30-year-old and you want some singing lessons and they're taking bookings. Maybe. Where can people find out more about the Unlimited School of Art?
So we're on Instagram and Facebook, and it's unlimited_of_arts. No. Unlimited School of Art with underscore in between. God, that was a mouthful. That was hard.
We'll put it on the screen. We'll put it in the comments. But if you want to know more information about what Chelsea's doing and you want to be a part of it, or your child wants some singing lessons, feel free to get in touch. Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your personal story. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr, I appreciate it.